Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium, CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world.
And TheAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Michael Voris. It's official. The Division of Student Affairs at Jesuit-run Loyola Marymount University in Los Angeles has added an office for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgendered LGBT student services in what the student newspaper calls, quote, a milestone in LMU's history and the history of Jesuit universities. With regard to the new office, the Catholic teaching on homosexuality has been made clear. However, it has also been reported that it is not concerned with the sexual practices of homosexuals, but will be used rather as a safe place for dialogue, inclusiveness, and education for all LMU students. Coulter blasts conservatives. Nobody ever said conservative pundit Ann Coulter was going to play nice during her time at HomoCon, a summit held by the homosexual conservative group GOP Proud. Coulter told the homosexual crowd that marriage, quote, is not a civil right, you're not black, end quote, building upon an argument that claimed the equal protections provided by the 14th Amendment and potentially used to build a case for marriage equality were only applicable to black people. Coulter says she never, quote, fails to talk gays out of gay marriage, end quote, and her audience actually listened attentively to what she had to say on the subject. She believes the vast majority of homosexuals are already against homosexual marriage, but won't admit it publicly, prompting a typical Coulter statement, quote, I'm just trying to get these gays to come out of the closet. Catholic and Orthodox move toward unity. Roman Catholic and Orthodox theologians report promising progress of bringing the two largest bodies of Christianity back to full communion. Experts meeting in Vienna, Austria, recently agreed that the two could eventually become sister churches that recognize the Roman pontiff as their head, but retain many church structures, liturgy, and customs that developed over the past 1,000 years. The delegation heads stressed that unity is still far off, but remain upbeat, reflecting on the growing cooperation between Rome and the Orthodox churches, traditionally centered in Russia, Greece, Eastern Europe, and the Middle East. We can pray for that. Stay with us. Back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
CatholicUnderground.com, the podcast about our Catholic faith and new media.
Constitution trumps Sharia law. Not guilty is the unanimous vote in a jury trial of 4 Christians arrested for talking about Christ at a local street fair in Dearborn, Michigan this past June. It took the jury just over an hour to find that the 3 men and 1 woman were peacefully proselytizing young Muslims at the Arab International Festival and not disturbing the peace as they were charged. Dearborn is known for its large Muslim population, in fact, the largest outside of the Middle East, which may explain Mayor Jack O'Reilly's continuing anti-Christian hate speech and the immediate action taken by police during the incident. And lastly, Pulpit Freedom Sunday. It's time to get the government out of the pulpit, according to a group of Christian lawyers in Arizona. A spokesman for the Scottsdale-based Alliance Defense Fund says that, quote, ADF is not trying to get politics into the pulpit. The point of the Pulpit initiative is very simple. The IRS should not be the one making the decision by threatening to revoke a church's tax-exempt status, end quote. Organizers of Pulpit Freedom Sunday say they expect about 100 pastors to test the IRS by making political statements presently forbidden by the IRS at this Sunday's church services. An activist group known as Americans United for Separation of Church and State says that Pulpit Freedom Sunday is a divisive idea organized by the religious political right, and that clergy should just say no if asked to participate. That, of course, from our progressive liberal friends. I'm Michael Voris. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. And be sure and check out the Vortex today, where we talk about why liberals are so opposed to smoking and trans fat. That's it for now. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tell your friends about us. And as always, God bless you.